Is Lainey Love Dalby, oracular astrologer, transformational catalyst, cosmic creatrix of the Sacred Revolution Oracle, and the founder of the Ecstatic Embodied Leadership Academy. And I am on a mission to free human spirits to sparkle shamelessly and step into their full power and sovereignty. And I am so thrilled to beam in today to share with you about Jupiter in Taurus. And so on May 16th of 2023, Jupiter entered Taurus, where it will remain until May 24th, 2024. And so this is going to be a potent year-long transit. And Taurus is the fixed earth sign of our ecstatic embodiment and our worth and values, our tangible resources and finances, also our sacred pleasure. And it's really that ground, that stable and secure ground beneath us. And Jupiter is the great benefic. It is the planet of expansion, of abundance, of blessings and joy that magnifies all that it touches. And Jupiter pretty much rules my chart because I have a lot of Sagittarius, so I love this energy. If you can't tell, I'm feeling very juiced up and thrilled that this medicine is here for us. And so this is really an opportunity to totally refresh our connection to our embodiment. And as you know, ecstatic embodiment work is very important to me. Worth, values, resources, and money. It is a powerful time to claim our enoughness and to continue to dismantle the harmful paradigm of grind culture and the patriarchy. And so, we've been on this journey for a while, but this is even a bigger opportunity for this. And I shared a little bit more about this for the new moon in Taurus reading that is up from last week if you wanted to hear more about that. So there's a bounty of blessings and treasures that are really available now to unlock and for us to deeply savor at the depth of our being. And Jupiter is also known as the lucky planet, so there's some medicine in that as well. And so I've sort of broken this down because this is a bigger transit. It's going to be a little bit different than the normal readings I do for the new moon and full moons, and broken it down into themes. And so I'm going to highlight the themes and then go into some card pulls from the Sacred Revolution Oracle. Okay, so we're gonna dive in with the first one, which is new engagements in pleasure and enjoyment of life. Taurus is the epicure. It really likes to savor the sensuality and the erotic nature of life, and really being in an erotic relationship with all of life, with nature, with the wind caressing our skin, and being in our full aliveness and really knowing what brings us alive. And in that, engaging in our multi-sensory reality in all that we do, and really trusting the pleasure that is here for us and expanding to receive even more pleasure. And so whenever you're dreaming, whenever you're visioning, whenever you're tuning into what it is you're creating with that Saturn and Pisces energy that we already talked about, to really engage your multi-sensory reality. Let yourself feel it, taste it, smell it, touch it. Make it as real as possible in your mind's eye, in your whole body, and really bring it fully in. So that's the first. The second point is ecstatic embodiment and radical presence. So we're really going to be activating more of our ecstatic embodiment and this way of being in radical presence with what is in this holy now moment. Slowing down, tuning in, coming more into our bodies. And, for me, it's not just about embodiment. It is, and I teach all about ecstatic embodied leadership, because without being fully in our bodies and fully rooted here on earth, we can't be fully in our power. We can't be fully in our revolutionary potential and deliver our unique soul sparkle to the world. So this is an opportunity to refresh that, to come deeper into our ecstatic embodiment, and to really walk in the world in our fully awakened divinity in a healthy, whole, and sensual and nourished way. Taurus is also about nourishment. I'm going to get to that a little bit. And so we really must start at this point of the body as a portal to our power. And start there, we remember that we are powerful beyond measure. And the fact that our bodies were made for ecstasy, why would we not want to tap into that power? So letting yourself tap into the juiciness of that energy. The next point is one of my favorites. This next theme, an opulence of riches and unlocking new earth wealth codes. So this is the potential of what is available now, tuning into the frequency of orgasmic abundance, letting yourself move towards what makes you come wildly and unapologetically alive. So we're going to be seeing whole new ways of moving with money and currency, expanding the velocity of money. And so sexuality, money, creativity, spirituality, these pieces that I talk about so often, and our power in those arenas are similar in that they work in cycles and in circulation with others. They run in currents, which is the root of currency, just like our vibration and frequency. And these are all interconnected with the yoni for those that have a yoni. So these will be amplified in the coming year, and we're going to be bringing forward new offerings specifically tied to this in the Academy, including our New Earth Ecstatic Wealth Codes activation ceremony on the summer solstice. There is more information about that below. It is going to be a juicy solar infusion of this medicine. So hope you can join us. And, because of this, I've also been thinking a lot about collaborative wealth, collective thriving. And I love really seeing it being put out to practice already out in the world. And so really looking at how can we be in reciprocity and giving and receiving in the infinity loop in new ways that promote and enhance the collective to be in total well-being and aliveness. And I'm also really holding the intention for world-changing women, increasing our impact and income in magical, sustainable, ecstatic, and mutually supportive ways. Yes, thank you, Jupiter in Taurus. So this is really abundance energy and frequency. It's joy energy and frequency. It's really expansive energy and frequency, multi-dimensional quantum energy, unlimited energy and frequency, which is really the opposite of lack and disconnection. So really healing any of these places where we have scarcity thinking, where we have greed, where we have constriction around money. This is a deep opportunity to be healing these now, because Jupiter expands all that it touches, and that can also include the healing. So, lack mentality, the cycles of impoverishment. And this is really a state when we're lit up in this energy from which we can lead that allows us to sparkle shamelessly and be that creatrix of anything we desire, including the new earth. So we're tapping in to these powers that are essential now, and we'll be going deeper into that in the solstice ceremony. And so really looking at those places that you're still operating in scarcity consciousness, where you don't feel enough or worthy, and root it out. We're going to get to that. One of the cards that came through is repair your root. This is important. And so asking for the great benefic of Jupiter to help you expand into a quantum healing of these energies and ways of being that no longer serve, especially if you were born roughly between June 1976 and June of 1983, and you have your Chiron wound in Taurus. Hands up if that's you. That is me, and it is a core part of all the work I do. And right now, Jupiter is sitting on my wound, and it is amplifying the depths of the wound so that I can see them clearly and heal through them. And so this will be an opportunity for you again, June 1976 to June 1983. There are a couple months in there that it retrogrades back, so that's not, you'll need to have your chart looked at just to be sure, but that's the rough timeline. And, if you want to know more about this, then you can book a one-on-one oracular astrology reading with me below to really see where this transit falls in your chart on your Chiron wound, to really maximize the blessings and the healing that's available. Because if you're unaware of what's happening, it could be very destabilizing and be very painful, and to have that clarity, to have that anchor is so helpful. If I didn't know that Jupiter was sitting on my Chiron wound right now and the North Node, I'd be like, what's going on? This time is so painful. But I know it's an opportunity to help grow me to that next level. And so just for anybody out there with that Chiron wound in Taurus, here for you to support you through that, and so much of the work that we do as well. And so the one other piece of this is the bees. And for those of you who've been with me for a long time, you know that many, many years ago, I had a container called Sister Hive, which was really tuning into the medicine of the bees for collective thriving and affluence and working together for a shared mission with ease and smoothness and that sweet honey and that commitment and that devotion. And the medicine of the bees is definitely present here for this transit. And I'll be talking more about that as well in our summer solstice ceremony. And so the thing that I love about this is that this transit is very much about the earth. The earth is our master teacher for grounded, rooted, sustainable, orgasmic abundance and expansion. And this is the intention that I was actually holding for this year. And then here is this transit really helping us, showing us how to be resourced. And so there's really that new paradigm thinking and ancient future financial intelligence that I believe is available now, especially with Pluto and Aquarius. This dance together is going to be really potent. And again, I'll be talking more about that in the summer solstice ceremony. And so, really opening to receive at all new levels, knowing the bounty of all we need is already here. It's already here. The beauty of this is already here. So something that Taurus offers us that I love as well is resting. It's slowing down. It's stillness. And there's the invitation to come into stillness regularly and tap into the wisdom of the body there. Unhooking from mass consciousness and having designated times where you do not interact with the internet or social media or news media, and really allowing your nervous system to decompress. And, really allowing yourself to no longer be on call 24/7 and turning down that noise of the outside world and taking really designated ritual time each week and month and year to deeply listen to what's moving for you, to take a pause. And, yesterday I did a shamanic journey for this moon dance adventure that I'm going on and leaving shortly. And Panther came through. And I love that Panther came through for me, one, because it's to sexual passion and energy. And it's a lot of themes that I'm moving with right now. But the big cats teach us how to be in repose 60% of the time. They are luxuriated in sensual pleasure. They are licking themselves so that when it's time, they're ready to pounce. They're ready to take action. They're ready to respond to where their gifts and medicine are needed, to where their hunger is taking them. And so our body teaches us to, it's overriding the body. That's what the culture really invites. The do, go, produce. This is the old paradigm of patriarchy, that you are not worthy unless you are producing. But Jupiter and Taurus can bring in that you are enough just as you are in your being, just being. And so give your body what it needs during this transit. Tend to the body in states of being and states of connecting to a menstrual cycle if you bleed or are in your bleeding years. And in this, the next piece is privileging sweetness and nourishment. And that's really looking at who and what offers you that sweet honey nourishment and to pull that closer, pull them closer. And there's this amazing quote that Dr. Valerie shares, which is, how good can it get? This question, how good can it get? And just letting yourself tune into that and just take a minute to feel into that. How good can it get? With that Saturn and Pisces energy, the biggest dreams possible, and really looking at, wow, how good can it get? And in this, restoring any body harm and really healing. And there's an amazing book and actually new oracle deck as well. I actually have it right here. I can show it to you. The Nap Bishop, who's the founder of the Nap Ministry, Trisha Hersey, created this book called Rest is Resistance, and this is the Rest deck. And it's really about dismantling and unwinding urgency and dismantling grind culture and patriarchy and white supremacy. It is incredible. I highly recommend it, especially if resting and slowing down and coming into stillness is a challenge for you. I highly, highly recommend this, especially if you have a lot of fire in your chart. If you're really, if you're a very motivated individual that loves life and is super passionate, like I am, and resting is not on the top of your list, this is an amazing way to really tune in to how powerful and important this is and to restore body harm as well. So the next theme is replenishing energy stores and enhancing your energetic state to really harness your life force. And this is something we're going to be doing a lot more of in the academy and trainings around this, because our energetic state is everything. This is so important. This state is what affects us moment to moment. And our inner fire is our Kundalini life force, Shakti, orgasmic energy. And when we're able to connect with this innate energy, we're able to fully experience life and be awake. And a part of life is an awakened and embodied and empowered human. And, this is really what we want to move towards, leveraging our most precious resources, because Taurus honors resources. So those precious resources that are non-renewable, of time, of energy, of attention, of tuning into our own biorhythms. So these are essential pieces. We'll definitely be bringing more forward about this, but this is one of the main themes to look out for and tune into, that which raises your energetic state, vibration, and frequency. So, the next piece about this, it goes back into that nourishment, but it's going into hunger. Because Taurus is also about hunger. What are we hungry for? That is one of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself. What are you hungry for? And many of us, especially women, are starving in a culture that has, privileged the dieting industry and really prescribing how women's bodies are supposed to look. And so we've ended up in this state of starvation, of deep hunger, whether it's for food or equality or to be seen or to be heard or to express ourselves or to be acceptable or to be enough. And so really honoring our inner primal hunger, having our desires and our hungers met, and letting the soft animal of our body wants what it wants. I know that in part of my journey, which some of you may know, that, until about 9 years ago, I had gained and lost over 1,300 pounds until I completely dismantled and removed the shackles of the dieting industry from my body, from my being, from my field, shamanically and otherwise, and created a new way where I honored what my body needed to be deeply nourished, where I listened to my body with what she needed to be deeply nourished, where I let the soft animal of my body want what it wanted. And I know that even when I go back into old patterns of emotional eating, whenever I want sugar, which I don't eat anymore, whenever I want sugar, it's that I'm craving sweetness. I'm craving gentleness. I'm craving tenderness. I'm craving a hug, a lover to hold me, a partner to hold me, something, that is just deeply nourishing and loving. And so, really finding when you are craving certain foods, what is it actually that you are missing in your life that you want to call in? Because usually it's a substitute, and we know this, and it's just, those substitutes, like those cravings, those desires, those hungers, those are pointing us towards things that we need to fill ourselves up. And so looking at how we can fill ourselves up with pleasure in a way that is nourishing for our energy field, for our aliveness, that are part of our long-term aliveness goals, not short-term ego goals of like, oh, if I eat this now, it's going to taste really good. And then later that it affects us in a way that has negative consequences since we don't feel well in our body. So aligning with what we most deeply desire, the primal instincts and sense, especially when it comes to food, and give the body what it is asking for again. And in this, the next theme is allowing ourselves to move towards what makes us come unapologetically and wildly alive. Being totally turned on and blazing true, rooted in our deepest values and discernment of where we want to spend those non-renewable resources. One of the other cards that came through is wield your fierce sword of discernment. This is extremely important here, because one of the things that this transit is really offering us, and this is something that my beloved teacher shared, is this idea of consistent rhythmic devotion. that we're going to be called to consistently tend and show up for our creations and dreams. That Saturn and Pisces energy, daily rhythms and steps to move us towards that big vision. And we're rooting this in for long-term sustainable abundance and yields. This is for the long-term gains, not short-term. Again, long-term aliveness goals, not those short-term ego goals. Like, sleeping in the morning when in fact you want to be going to the gym to be able to really support your body and getting stronger so that you can really show up in the world in a powerful way. And yes, I'm saying that to myself. So think consistent rhythmic devotion to what you are growing now and strong, sturdy roots to thrive into the future. Think strong, sturdy roots that you're really grounding and rooting in. The first card that was pulled is the blood, breath, and bones of the earth. We are going deep into the earth here, deep into the earth, to really tune into and root into that which is going to thrive in the future. Thinking of it going deep down, those roots going so strong so that you can root up to rise, shine, and soar. And so I'm committing to a daily ecstatic embodiment practice, a morning practice, for my energetic state. And I talk a lot about this in our Soul Sparkle Sanctuary Inner Circle community as well. This idea of really, and we've also been talking about this in the Sovereign Sisters Rising Mystery School, that rhythmic devotion to the body and to starting there. And so with that, the last theme that wanted to come through today is returning home. Returning home to our innate rhythms, our body wisdom, our truth, our values, our worth. To answer the call we're facing now, we must come back home to ourselves and our bodies. We must come back home to each other and the earth. We are being invited to reawaken to the truth within and our soul's purpose, to wake up to our power and potential and wield it for the good of all. The world is truly crying out for a great homecoming, that holy homecoming and sacred revolution back to the land, back to our bodies, our sovereignty, and the heart of what matters most. It is time that we remember who we truly are and why we are here, to break the old paradigms away, to shed them so that we can truly co-create the new earth, heaven on earth, where we are thriving collectively, not only for ourselves, but for future generations to come. So really starting there, tending to the body as a living temple. The last card that came through is the Great Homecoming. Such powerful medicine. And as you know, we're having our Great Homecoming retreat in November in person, first in-person retreat again since COVID, and meeting in the deep heartland here of Missouri. Because there is a great mother energy here. It's a very dense, holding, deep, holy, sacred medicine. The land here is very alive. It is very fertile, and it is filled with druzy quartz and minerals. It is one of the most mineral-rich lands in the U.S., and also has some of the most protected sacred lands, including the Mark Twain National Forest, where we will be gathering for this retreat. And the druzy quartz in the land, druzy quartz amplifies our intentions and our prayers and what it is that we're visioning and what it is that we're creating, and this is potent magic. The retreat is about 25% filled already, so you can find out more below. And there's also an option to add on one-on-one 6-month mentorship leading up to that, the Great Homecoming mentorship, to really support you twice a month in setting you up so that as you move through the retreat, that is an initiation for you. It's like a graduation into this energy back home to you. Woo. So we're going to go into the cards here, which I'm so excited about. And, they really are just going to be highlighting everything that already came through. And so again, the first card that came through is number 12, the blood, breath, and bones of the earth. This is the ancestor card. This is the deep crystalline earth medicine. So how can you really tune into the earth now in a way that perhaps you never have before? How can you tune into your ancestral lineage, and how how they connected to the earth. The earth honoring more pagan spiritualities, more indigenous spiritualities of your lineage, of your ancestral lineage, your bloodline. How did they connect and honor the earth? And take those practices on as your own. Try them, experiment with them. Making earth offerings is one of the most potent things we could do during Jupiter and Taurus, giving gratitude to the earth, gratitude that all that is already here. Gratitude is one of the most potent practices that we can tune into, gratitude and enoughness, and really owning and anchoring that in fully to our being. The next card that came in is 13. It's the mycelial web walker card. And here she is looking to the east for new visions, what she is calling forward. And here's the web of all of us, like Indra's net, sparkling shamelessly for the good of all. Because when we are deeply nourished with this medicine, we can deeply nourish the world with our gifts. We are weaving a new story with Grandmother Spider, especially around money, around resources, around worth. We're moving away from being an extractive culture, a conqueror culture that is extracting resources beyond comprehension and creating harm. And it's no longer creating harm. We are restoring the harm to our bodies, to the earth, to how we have treated each other. And this card is planting the seeds for that, and that remembrance of that mycelial web that is beneath the earth, of how interconnected we all are. Sacred reminder of how connected we all are. The next card is number 3. This is repair your root. This is powerful medicine, again, around really your connection to the earth, to your secure, stable foundation, to the yoni, to this root base of the body. For those of you who have a yoni, just really connecting into that energy and repairing any places where there has been harm, repairing any places where you don't feel resourced. So much of the theme of this Jupiter and Taurus transit is about being resourced. It's time to be resourced at the depth of our being and repairing any places where there might be a disconnection to that. And here's the hummingbird. Hummingbird is nourishment. It memorizes thousands of flowers, and it only goes to the ones that nourish it the most. And in this, it doesn't just look at the flower, it goes in and it sucks the nectar and it lives full out. It is coming into wild, unapologetic aliveness. And if you've ever seen a pollinator bug, if you've ever seen a bee in a leaf getting pollen, it is the most orgasmic, delightful, joyous dance you will ever see, because they are relishing in it. They are in their pleasure. They are in their joy. They are just delighting and taking it in and rubbing it all over their bodies. They are in their orgasmic life force energy. And it is such a sweet delight and juicy delight to witness, so highly recommend that. But that hummingbird goes in there and sucks the nectar in a similar way. So how can you suck the nectar out of life right now? What are you so juiced up by? What is it that you're hungry for? And how can you suck that in like you're sucking the marrow off of the bone, out of the bone of life? And there she is in her sensual pleasure in the earth. Mud baths would be a great way to connect with the earth and just be in that sensual expression and allowing that to come forth. And this is some ruby medicine. Ruby is a great crystal for ecstatic embodiment and this erotic energy and deep earth medicine. I love that this card is here. This is release scarcity and actualize orgasmic abundance. I don't even know if I need to say much more. There she is in her ecstatic delight. Abundance is raining down, really creating that new paradigm of collective worth, collective wealth, and thriving together, and tapping into what it feels like to truly trust that you will be provided for, that you will be held, to release those places of scarcity, of tension and contraction. Because when we're like this around money, we cannot receive. When we're in fear or contraction or constriction, we cannot receive. And so the invitation is to open, to receive, to trust, to surrender, to lay your body back, to receive the medicine, to receive the codes. Just let that come all the way in and down. And so notice, where do you go into contraction around money? Where do you go into contraction around being in that flow of giving and receiving, and start to notice and open to pleasure as a way forward? And so we're going to be talking about how to really implement this in our New Earth Wealth Codes activation on the summer solstice. So tune in for that for sure, so you can learn more about how to do that, how to activate that medicine. 25, wield your fierce sword of discernment. This already came in a little bit, so I don't need to say too much. Be so mindful of where you are putting your non-renewable resources. Also your renewable resources of money. Where are you investing? Where are you investing your time, your energy, your money, your care, your medicine? And really tune in around that and get fierce. What is your sacred no, and what is your holy embodied hell yes? When somebody asks you something and you are immediate, like every cell in your body lights up, especially big expansive opportunities, which Jupiter and Taurus can be bringing us, especially around finances and unlocking new levels of finance. So to be in that state of yes, I am a yes for this, so much yes. But when it's a no, really drawing down that sword to say, no, I love you, I care about you, and this is a no. And that goes for a maybe as well. In much wisdom that I have heard, when it's a maybe, it's a no. Until it's a yes, it's a no. And so just really honoring that and honoring yourself in this. And that is going to help you with rest. It's going to help you with coming into stillness. It's going to help you with that sweet nourishment. Really looking at who nourishes you. Who nourishes you? What nourishes you? And get really real about anything that keeps you from that. And cut that away. There's no time for that. This is really clearing what isn't in service so that you can really be in your full energetic life force and move that towards what matters most in your life. And that's going to be different for everybody. And getting clear on what we want and how to ask for it, ask for what we need. Powerful medicine this transit as well. 27, the golden light web of love currency. So I love this for multiple reasons. One, because part of my mission is to co-create a constellation of millions of star beings that are sparkling shamelessly for the good of all. And this card is really an amplification of that in many ways. And, the medicine of this card is about offering our deepest gifts and medicine into circulation as love currency. So really bringing forward our deepest gifts and medicine as an act of love, walking as embodied love in the world. And as we offer that, it becomes our love currency that we offer into circulation. Because remember, so much of this is about getting our energy, getting our gifts, getting our medicine into circulation. And as we are nourished, we are able to nourish the world with our gifts. And that is when we all can collectively come together and thrive. This is the card of the entrepreneur and the intrapreneur as well. So if you've been thinking of starting an entrepreneurial adventure, this could be a really great time, or taking more leadership on in the organization you're already in as an intrapreneur. Not everyone knows what that word is, but it's when you have that entrepreneurial spirit and you amplify it inside of a company to really change the culture and the future of a company for the greater good. And so tuning into how you can be of service here with your gifts and medicine. This is the energetic womb bowl, which I believe we all have and create from that seat of our creative, spiritual, and sexual power, and the grail, the womb and the grail. What are we offering as deep nourishment? The next card is 48, which is ignite our revolutionary potential. So here we are in the collective dancing, and I love this card because it feels like, and this one as well, I'm going to bring forward both of these, 17, the whispers of the sacred winds. Because Jupiter is present, there is an unlimited expansion energy. Unlimited potential and expansion that we can tap into in this transit, because Taurus is about such 3D themes, 3D real life tangible themes, and Jupiter is expanding that. So it can be expanding our money, expanding our resources, expanding our relationship to our embodiment, expanding where and how we're investing, expanding on how we are nourishing others and nourishing the world with our gifts and value and worth. And so this is a time to really tune in to that unlimited expansion. Where do you want to expand? What is the vision you are holding for your expansion? Because this is, holding that 30,000 foot view. And then with Saturn and Pisces, we can really go in step by step and create the dream. We can make the dream real. We can manifest it. We can bring it into reality. And so really looking at what is the unlimited potential, the unlimited revolutionary potential that you are activating with this transit, and calling on Jupiter to support you in that. I love working with the planets as people, as these energies that are here to really support us, and calling on them, petitioning them like you would ancestors or spirit guides, and saying, thank you for your presence in my life. I would be grateful if you are here to help expand me in these arenas. And trust, I have been calling on Jupiter to help expand my healing with my Chiron wound, because, Jupiter's right there on top of it right now. So it's like, and I've been holding this intention for months before Jupiter got even anywhere close to my wound, because, Jupiter can also expand the wound if you don't know what's happening, right? And so I wanted Jupiter to expand the quantum potentiality of healing the wound. So really quantum energies here, and tuning into those quantum energies and bringing that forward as a great healing for all. Such yummy medicine. And then 46, the galactic circle of sovereign thrones. And so this is us really coming into that next level of expansion. We are thriving. We are in our full soul essence. The butterfly is such a symbol of the soul. We are sharing that authentic soul essence with the world. And together we are weaving this new reality of collective wealth and sharing resources and collective thriving. And really that idea of heaven on earth, that fecund aliveness of what heaven on earth can be when we all remember what is true, that there is enough for everyone, that we are enough just as we are, and really coming into balance and harmony together as a collective with our collective resources as well, with our resources from the earth, and really allowing ourselves to thrive. Regenerative energy, regenerative farming, permaculture, tuning into these different themes around how we can start to thrive, both with money, both on the tangible 3D plane, and be nourished. So this is really an opportunity for total transformation and us all coming together, weaving together. There's an energy of the importance of us coming together now in the collective, in community together, to expand these energies collectively. That is one of the reasons we are doing the Ecstatic New Earth Wealth Codes ceremony on the summer solstice, and we cannot wait to be with you there. It is really going to be a very juicy opportunity, and if finances are a block or concern for you around joining us for the great homecoming retreat and mentorship, I really encourage you to join us for this activation so that you will have the financial flow you need in no time to honor your yes to join us. It is everything that will really support you in raising your energetic frequency and state so that you can become magnetic to money, to resources, to that which you need to really thrive. And again, I really believe it's time to get wealth circulating in the hands of world-changing women and individuals so we can truly thrive and follow our soul's deepest callings, so that we can be in service to those who need us most, so that we can transform these crumbling structures and midwife the new paradigm and earth. And so we can really remember our truth, that we can come home, that we can activate the next level of our revolutionary potential together and be nourished at the depth of our being along the journey by joining retreats like the Great Homecoming, by receiving the resource support that we need to thrive, by moving towards what makes us feel fully alive, what we are hungry for. Let us be deeply fed, beloveds, during this time. And may we just continue to return home, to our truth, to our essence, in sacred reconnection. That is why I'm here. That is why I do all that I do, that deep sacred reconnection. Thank you for joining me for this very juicy and exciting and delicious reading. Woo! And I feel like I want to close this out with a card from Trisha Hersey's Rest deck that I already shared with you. It's got a lot of writing, but I feel like there's something in here for us. Let's see what we've got for the collective. Rest does not have to be earned. Every time you pull this card, repeat this phrase at least 5 times. Rest does not have to be earned. Whisper it silently, boldly, proclaim it, write it over and over again. You don't have to earn rest. It is your birthright. And one other one, there is information in my dreams, in my dream space, and in my daydreaming. Yes, yes, yes. There is a collection of wisdom and knowledge waiting for you in the dream space. What if your body has a message of liberation but can only offer it while you're in a rested state? Message of liberation in the body. That feels very Jupiter and Taurus. Yes, 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 because I know that to be true. There are many, many messages for our liberation contained in our body. Our body is the portal to our power. And so just deeply grateful for this opportunity to be together today. You can revisit this reading anytime before May 24th, 2024, when Jupiter is going to transition out of Taurus. And we'll have some new energies coming in to talk about then. But for now, sparkle shamelessly for the good of all, and may you be deeply nourished in the depth of your being. If you liked this video, click like, be sure to subscribe for more, and share this with anyone that you feel would be supported by this energy, by this medicine. And we will see you on the summer solstice. And for the full moon in Sagittarius, I will be under the moon dancing the moon dance, and so very excited to share more on the other side of that as well. And just many, many blessings on your journey, beloved. May the blessings of Jupiter rain down upon you. May they juice you up. May they enliven you. May they awaken the depth of your being and who you are here to be. And may they really inspire you with that next level of stepping into your unlimited potential and the big vision you are holding for your life. Blessings, beloved. See you next time.